What's up YouTube, it's your boy Aaron out here with another new shoe review, and today I've got Tricky Ricky Dick Owens Ramones. If you're on Fitted or if you're on any really Facebook group or Instagram styling or anything, you probably already know a little bit about these shoes. But I'm just going to be going into these shoes in detail, letting you know a few things. I haven't made a shoe review video in like probably 6 to 8 months, so I apologize if this video is a little bit rusty. But before I get into this review, if you haven't already subscribed, make sure to subscribe and follow my Instagram, which is at aaronmonaghan. You need to subscribe. We'll be posting more shoe reviews, more pickups, a whole lot of other videos about clothes. It is absolutely essential that you subscribe. Thumbs up this video. We want 70 million thumbs ups on this one at least. And follow my Instagram because I really want to reach 1 million followers. I'm currently at like 400 something, so I'm pretty far away from getting that 1 million follower mark, but I really want to get there, guys. So make sure to follow my Instagram at aaronmonaghan and subscribe. Also guys, if you'd be interested in me making a video about how to style Rick Owens for a whole lot cheaper than buying a head-to-toe Rick Owens fit, make sure to let me know in the comments down below. I'd be very interested in making this video if that is something that you guys want to see out of this channel, but without further ado, let's just get into these shoes. First thing, before we get anything into these shoes, I just want to let you guys know the price point of these shoes. These shoes retail at about $1,300, but do not pay $1,300 for these sneakers. At the end of this video, I'll be telling you guys how to get these sneakers for a whole lot cheaper. I think I paid like $600 for these. It's still quite expensive, but it's a whole lot cheaper than paying the $1,300 retail price, because that is just ridiculous. I'd never spend $1,300 on a pair of shoes. At least not yet, because I don't have that $100 million in my bank account. One day, hopefully I'll get there, but for now, I'm sticking to buying stuff on sale. I'm trying to save my money. I don't want to be spending $1,300 on a pair of shoes. And I don't think you guys want to be spending $1,300 on a pair of shoes either. So at the end of this video, I'll let you guys know how to buy these shoes for a whole lot cheaper. But without further ado, let's get into the shoe box itself. The box is the typical Rick Owens mainline box. It is a huge box, a whole lot bigger than any other shoe box, as you can see right here. It is this beautiful grey colorway. Rick Owens just printed right there within the Rick Owens logo. On the sides, there is nothing on any of the sides besides one side right here, which has the size tag and just information there. You can see it has a size tag from Rick Owens itself, and it also has a sticker from the store which this shoe was purchased from, which was this store in Italy. I didn't purchase these shoes from that store. I actually purchased these shoes from someone from Grailed, but I will be telling you some other options at the end of this video on how to get shoes for cheap. But regardless, let's just open up this box and get into the contents of this box as well. Opening up the box, you can see it is one of those boxes that you have to lift up the lid. It always takes a very long time for this lid to open. The boxes are just very thick and sturdy with Rick Owens. The cardboard is very thick. These are very sturdy boxes. I could probably throw this box and it would not crease, it would not break. This shoe box is honestly like the thickest, most well-constructed shoe box that I have ever seen. Upon opening up the box, you can see right here, you have a few items inside this box. This is all the stuff that was in the box when I purchased it from this guy. Honestly, I'm not sure if there was anything else in this box when it was brand new, but to me, I think I got everything that really matters. First thing is you get the Rick Owens Tote, which is a really nice tote. I'll get into that in a second. And the next thing you can see are the two shoes. You have the one shoe right there, the paper, the other shoe right there. This paper is just plain paper. It doesn't have any Rick Owens branding or anything. But honestly, I'm not sure if this is the paper it came with or not, but I don't really care. It's just paper, whatever. And the other contents of this box are these extra laces right here. These extra laces are actually in a black colorway instead of the milk colorway, which is actually on the shoes. I prefer the milk colorway on these Ramones. I think it looks a whole lot cleaner, but some people do like the black laces instead. So they come with a pair of black laces, and it also comes with this little string right here, which I believe is what the tag would have came with. Like, you know how when you get shoes and they have the tag attached? I'd say this is what this was from. I don't have the tag, but I've got this little string. But regardless, that is all the contents of this box, at least all the contents that I actually received from this box. The guy I purchased these shoes from didn't even want to send me the tote bag, but I convinced him to send me the tote bag because I was like, I'm not going to buy it unless I get the tote bag as well. Just because I wanted the Rick Owens tote bag that comes with the shoes, because whenever you buy Rick Owens shoes, you get the tote bag, and I just wanted the tote bag. I literally hardly use that tote bag, but I just wanted the tote bag because I was like, if I'm getting the shoes, I might as well get the tote bag as well. But anyway, let me just make this a little bit nicer, and then we'll get into the details of the shoes itself. Actually, before we get into these shoes, I'm just going to say a little bit about this tote bag. This tote bag is in this nice grey colorway, very similar to the grey box that these shoes come with. It is just a plain tote bag. It's quite a nice constructed tote bag, but it's just a tote bag. You can carry some stuff in there. If I need to walk around with a bag which isn't like a shoulder bag or like a bum bag or something which is quite small, this is my go-to bag. Like if I'm going to a post office or something to ship off some clothes that are sold, I usually use this bag just to carry the clothes in. By the way guys, if you haven't already, make sure to check out my Grail. The link is in the description. I will be selling off a few things from my wardrobe real soon. But regardless, this is just a plain grey tote bag, nothing too special about it, just a plain tote bag. It's really nice just to carry a few things around in, and then of course it has the Rick Owens branding right here. The Rick Owens branding on this tote bag is very, very subtle. It is just embroidered right there. It's basically like half a shade darker than the rest of the tote bag, so it doesn't really stand out. The dark shadow totes actually have dark shadow down the bottom right there, but the Rick Owens mainline totes just have Rick Owens right there. It is a nice tote bag, but honestly, pretty much I only use this if I'm going to like the post office to ship off some clothes or something like that, so it doesn't really get a whole lot of use, but I'm glad I got it because I really wanted the tote bag, especially if I was buying a pair of Ramones. I was like, I might as well get the tote bag as well. I wanted the tote bag because it's just something that comes with the shoes. When you buy the shoes, you get the tote bag, and I was just like, I want the tote bag. There's literally no other reason why I got this. The seller didn't originally want to give me a tote bag, but I convinced him to send me one because I was basically like, I'm not going to pay for the shoes unless I get the tote bag as well, which is like kind of petty, but I wanted the tote bag. So whatever. But anyway, let's get into the shoes themselves. So these shoes are really, really beautiful. So when I purchased these shoes, they were pretty much dead stock. The guy pretty much just tried them on once, but I've worn these probably 20 to 50 times. They do have some scuffs on them now. They are getting a little bit dirty. I'm not going to clean them too much. If they get filthy, I'll give them a quick clean, but for everyday use, I'm not going to clean them because I believe these shoes look better when they get beat up. I believe these shoes just look better with age as they get some character to them. There's some scuffing right here on this shoe right here, and honestly I'm just going to leave it because I think it looks better. These shoes look kind of whack when they're brand new because in my opinion these shoes look so much better beat up. They look better when they're aged, they look better when they just, you know, get a lot of use out of them. But anyway, let's get into the shoe design itself. These shoes are the Mainline Rick Owens shoes, the Mainline Ramones. These are just absolutely beautiful shoes. The entire upper is made out of this really, really nice leather. It is really, really nice. It has some silver eyelets up the top. The main lines have 7 eyelets, and the dark shadow version has like 8 eyelets, I believe. The dark shadow version doesn't come in this high quality leather as well. They come in like a nylon or a canvas. These shoes are very, very inspired by like a Converse All-Star. They have this little area up the top right here, which is actually also in a leather. The sole right here is made out of this very thick rubber. It is very, very hard, which makes these shoes not too comfortable, but they are absolutely fine to wear every day. My feet don't get like sore wearing them all day, but these are just not the most comfortable shoe. But although these shoes are nowhere near as comfortable as say an Ultra Boost or like any other sneaker, these are still like pretty decently comfortable shoes. They're nothing too bad. In terms of weight, these are pretty heavy. These are about the same kind of weight as a Doc Marten. The only difference between this and like a Doc Marten is that these shoes don't have any cushioning whatsoever. The sole of these shoes have a shark tooth design, which is obviously very, very Rick Owens. Every single Rick Owens shoe that I know of pretty much has a shark tooth design on the bottom. On the mainline version, it goes throughout the whole shoe, but on the dark shadow, the area up here is actually just flat, and then the middle is like a shark tooth sole. However, these shoes are really, really nice. The only thing about this sole is that it does wear out quite quickly. I've been wearing these probably like 50 times, and the bottom area right here on the heel is kind of worn out a little bit. This pair of shoes was practically brand new when I got them, and to see that it's worn out this much already is kind of sucky, especially considering I'm not one of those people that drag my heels when I walk. So I'm not sure if it's just because it's a heavier shoe that I have been dragging my heels a little bit, but realistically, the shark tooth sole does wear out quite quickly, but these shoes will definitely last a very long time, which I'll get into in a second. Anyway guys, to get back up into the uppers, the tongue is actually connected to the whole shoe, so you don't lace them up like a normal pair of shoes. It actually has this nice side zip right here, which is I believe a YKK zipper. It is just a plain zipper right here, nothing too crazy. I believe the newer version just has a YKK zipper, but the older ones have a Regazi zipper that has 2 eyelets right here as well, just for some breathability. And then the other thing you can see is that the tongue is absolutely exaggerated. It sticks way further out than the actual rest of the shoe. As you pull down the zipper right here, you can see the size tag. You can see right here it is a size 41.5. I am a true to size 9.5 US. I went down 1 full size because I'd usually be a 42.5, but with designer shoes I usually go down to a 42. For these ones I got a 41.5, which equates to about an 8.5 US, and this fits absolutely perfect in my opinion. I wouldn't want to buy a pair of Ramones any smaller than this, and I wouldn't want to buy a pair of Ramones any bigger than this. This shoe fits me absolutely perfectly. Then also right here, just below the sizing tag, you can see it says made in Italy, just embossed right there. As you get into the inside of the shoe, it has this grey paper inside the shoe, which is just like your normal paper that you get with any other shoe. However, it is grey, and then just on the insole, right down the bottom, it says Rick Owens in the Rick Owens logo. The whole interior of this shoe is absolutely just plain black, just like the whole exterior besides the midsole and the leather toe box area right here. And then on the inside right here, you can see the iconic Rick Owens tag. It has a picture of Rick Owens right there. These shoes are just absolutely amazing. The leather quality is insane. They smell really, really nice as well. Even though I've worn these a lot, they smell like really nice leather. And honestly, for $1,300, you wouldn't be expecting anything less than the best quality leather. The other thing about these shoes is that the shoelaces are very, very, very long. As you can see, I'm holding up these shoes by the tips of the shoelace right now, and you can see just how long these shoelaces are. As the shoelaces are so long, the way I tie up these shoes is just I zip this zipper down right here, I put my foot in, you can easily slide your foot in with the zipper down, I zip the shoes back up, and then I just tighten this up a little bit just to get some extra kind of grip. Once I put my foot in the shoe and I've zipped the zipper back up, I usually just get the laces, wrap them around the back like that one time, tighten them up just because I like a nice tight fitting shoe, and then just lace them up from there like normal. This is probably going to be quite hard to do without them actually on my foot because, I mean, you don't usually lace up shoes unless you're wearing them, but I usually just do that. And usually because I've done it a lot tighter when I usually wear these shoes myself, the laces just flow down like that. It looks really nice on foot, and that is usually just how I tie up these shoes. And basically that is a Rick Owens Ramone and how I usually tie them up. I think I've already mentioned this, but I purchased these shoes in a 41.5. I'm a true to size 9.5 US, which is a 42.5. So basically I just sized down 1 whole size. If you are purchasing a pair of Mainline Ramones, I definitely recommend sizing down 1 full size because these run absolutely huge. And even though I sized down on these shoes by 1 whole size and they do fit absolutely perfectly, these shoes still do fit a little bit big, but that is mainly because of the way the toe box is designed. It is very, very large and roomy around here, which is very different compared to other shoes, which is usually nice and tight fitting throughout the whole shoe. So this shoe does fit true to size, but it does also feel very roomy, but that's just the way Rick Owens shoes are designed. They still do fit very roomy, but this is the true size that I should have went with, sized down by 1 whole size if you are buying a pair of Mainline Ramones. And the next thing I want to talk about these shoes is the comfortability of these shoes. These shoes, even though they are full leather shoe, don't require any breaking in. They feel quite nice from the moment you first wear them. It's absolutely nothing like buying a pair of Doc Martens where you have to go through the whole pain of having blisters, of just feeling absolutely uncomfortable in your shoes for like a week before they break in. These are made out of a really high quality soft leather, so there's no breaking in process. These are quite nice to wear from the moment you start wearing them. However, due to the fact that the thick rubber sole is so thick and it doesn't have any cushioning whatsoever, the insole is just a leather insole, and then after that it just goes straight to this hard rubber. It is very thick, it does not have any bounce at all. It is very, very thick and hard. So it kind of feels like you're walking around on concrete blocks. These shoes are very heavy, these shoes are very uncomfortable in the terms of the fact that it does feel like you're walking around in concrete blocks. It doesn't feel like you're walking around in a nice comfortable shoe at all. However, even though these shoes are very, very thick and very, very hard rubber, and it doesn't feel the most comfortable out of all shoes, these shoes are still absolutely fine just to wear all day. I haven't had any problems wearing these around all day, and the more you wear them, the more you get used to wearing the thick rubber sole with no padding. So I mean, these are uncomfortable in the terms of like, they're not anything like any other sneaker. They're not comfortable in terms of like, you couldn't wear these running or doing exercising, but in terms of everyday use, just walking around, shopping, walking around, hanging out with your friends, doing stuff like that, I definitely say there's no problems wearing these. They're not the most comfortable shoe, but they're not the most uncomfortable shoe as well. I wouldn't say these shoes are comfortable by any means, but they look really nice and they do suit a whole bunch of aesthetics. They're just a nice shoe in general, and like, I'm willing to give up a little bit of comfort in order to wear my Ramones instead of wearing like a pair of shoes which don't look as good with certain fits. However, the one downside about these shoes is that I got the high top leather Mainline Ramones, which do look absolutely fire. They look absolutely beautiful in my opinion. However, the only thing about these shoes is that these really only look nice with the full Rick fit. I can wear these with trousers and some other brands as well. So if I wear a pair of trousers and kind of hide the fact that these are high tops, these do look nice, but otherwise these look very nice with like Rick Owens pants and more of a Rick aesthetic. So I usually wear these shoes with like a whole Rick Owens fit, or even like trousers draped over the shoes so they don't look like they're high top Ramones and just look like a normal pair of like low top Ramones. If you want a pair of Ramones which are more versatile, I recommend going with a low top, but in my opinion, the high top Ramones are my favorite Ramones, and I'm glad that I got the high top version. Another thing I haven't mentioned, but I just want to touch on it again, is that the fact that these shoes do look nice getting beat up. I don't have any problems wearing these just throughout the city, just wearing them like a normal pair of shoes. They do get scuffs on them, they do get little dirt marks on them, and I think that just builds character on these shoes and makes them look even better. I think a plain white pair of Ramones, like white sole right there, the clean toe box and everything, just does not look as good as a shoe that has had a little bit of wear, it has some scuffs on it. These shoes just look so much better with a little bit of scuffing on them. I wouldn't really wear these out to clubs, even though I have in the past, just because I don't want these shoes to get too fucked up, because you can get absolutely like stepped on at the clubs and they can just be like disgusting. So I wouldn't recommend wearing them to like a club, but just walking around in the city, walking around doing stuff, just doing everyday errands in Rick Owens Ramones is absolutely fine. The way that they get the natural age and progression and natural beatness throughout wearing them is absolutely great. These are a high quality constructed shoe, and I reckon these will probably last me like at least 5 years, if not probably closer to 10 plus years, because these shoes are just honestly a really high quality shoe. And I could probably wear these shoes on the regular for like 5 to 10 years, as I have said. But anyway guys, that is basically all I have to say about these shoes. I'm going to show you a quick on foot look of these ones right now. The pants I am going to be wearing are my Rick Owens Prisoner pants. These are the Dark Shadow Prisoner pants, and they're a really nice pant and they do suit these shoes really well. So let's just get into that right now. Anyway guys, that was the on foot section of these shoes. Now let's get into a little bit of a discussion whether or not you should go Mainline or Dark Shadow if you don't know what one to get. I recommend if you're going for a low top shoe which just suits everything, go for Dark Shadow definitely. Get the Dark Shadow lows in like a canvas or a nylon. I personally think that if you're going for a shoe which can suit with absolutely anything, go for the Dark Shadow. However, I think if you're going for the true Rick aesthetic, if you want a pair of shoes which is undoubtedly screaming Rick Owens and just looks really nice with a lot of dark looking, goth looking, Rick Owens type styles, definitely go the highs. Definitely go the main lines. My general rule and what I usually recommend is that if you're going for just a low top, go for the Dark Shadows, because they are a whole lot cheaper and they look a whole lot better and a whole lot more versatile, just because I have the canvas instead of like the leather. And I think the canvas makes it look a little bit more like casual. However, if you're looking for the high top Ramones, definitely go for the main lines. They have this nice beautiful leather instead of a canvas. They look a whole lot better in my opinion. Plus the 7 eyelets just look a whole lot more aesthetic than 8 eyelets in my personal opinion. It's not really too much of a difference, but in my opinion, if you can get these on sale, definitely get the main lines instead of getting the Dark Shadows, because I got these pair of mainline highs for the same price as like what Dark Shadows usually retail at. And honestly, you can always find these on sale, you can always find these just up on places, so I definitely recommend going the main lines if you are going after a nice high top pair of sneakers. But if you want the low top Ramones, just go Dark Shadow, save yourself some money. You can buy the Dark Shadow lows for like $200 to $300 instead of spending like $1,300 retail on these, or like $600 or so, which is what I paid for these. Now, as I have said a few times, these shoes did retail for $1,300. Are they worth the price point? I mean, honestly, these are a beautiful pair of shoes. The leather is absolutely insane. The quality on these is absolutely insane as well. These are absolutely a really nice pair of shoes. Are they worth the $1,300 price point? I mean, honestly, I'd say these are actually probably worth $1,300. I'd pay $1,300 for them if I was rich. If I had a lot of money to spend on shoes, I would have no problem spending like $1,300 on a pair of Rick Owens Ramones, because these are absolutely beautiful. They're timeless, they're high quality, they're constructed really nicely. However, $1,300 is a lot of money, and personally I will not be paying like $1,300 for these sneakers, although I do believe that the price does reflect the quality. These are definitely worth like at least $800-900, even up to $1,300. I mean, the quality is really nice. These are insane shoes, they're going to last you a long time. So I'd say the quality and the price do actually match up. And whilst you can get like a knockoff or something which looks very similar for probably like $500 or something from a brand that isn't Rick Owens, you're paying for the Rick Owens name, you're paying for the quality, you're paying for the nice leather, you're paying for the shoe construction, you're paying for the fact that these are going to last you a long time. They're beautiful shoes. Are they worth $1,300? Yes, but would I pay $1,300? Personally, no, because you can get these for a whole lot cheaper. Don't waste your money and buy these on retail. I'm telling you, don't waste your money at all and buy these on retail, because you're basically throwing money away. By the time you have these shoes in hand and you go to sell them, you're probably only going to be able to sell them for like $700 or something, so you're already throwing away like $500. So you might as well just buy these from other people, which I'll tell you how to buy them real quick right now. So if you're after a pair of Mainline Rick Owens Ramones, or even Dark Shadow Ramones, highs or lows, any kind of Ramone whatsoever, do not pay retail pricing for them. Paying retail pricing, as I have said, is basically like throwing away a whole lot of money. These are $1,300 shoes. There's a lot of people that buy them and then just don't end up wearing them, so they sell them for like $700 or so. As I said, I got these shoes for $600, shipped from some guy in Romania. I purchased these shoes from Grailed. The guy wore them once, didn't really like the shoes, and then he just sold them for like a steal on Grailed, because obviously, like a lot of designer shoes, once you have purchased them, the price just plummets down. And personally, I'd much rather spend $600 or so for a pair of shoes that a guy's tried on, wore maybe one time, and then decided he didn't really like them and decided to sell them, than spend $1,300, which is like so much more money than what $600 is, and get a brand new pair of shoes. So the first option is just scouring Grailed. There's always going to be Ramones up for sale on Grailed, so make sure to just scour Grailed. You can get some ones which are quite beat for really cheap, probably like $400 or $500, or you can get ones which are pretty much brand new, like these ones were when I first got them, for like $700, $800. I just managed to get really lucky and get a pair for like $600. Another option you can do if you're patient is wait for the sales to come up. When the Essence sale comes up, when other sales come up, just scour the Rick Owens area and try to get a pair of Ramones that way. That way you're guaranteed to buy a brand new pair of shoes from an actual retailer themselves. The only thing is that you'll probably be buying these shoes for like $700 to $800, maybe $900, maybe even $1,000, because obviously they are a retailer. They are going to charge a little bit more than just some guy who has already purchased the shoes and decided they didn't really want them. So if you want to go the retail route, wait till the sales drop and cop these on a sale. Otherwise, go to Grailed and get a nice pair of Rick Owens shoes from Grailed for a really cheap price. Or go into Facebook groups such as Underground Society. There are people that purchase heaps and heaps of Rick Owens shoes and just sell them off, and you can get them for like $600, $700, somewhere around that mark. And honestly, paying $600 or $700 for a pair of shoes like a Rick Owens Ramone, like a Mainline Rick Owens Ramone I should say, it's definitely worth the price point. It is still a steep price to pay, but these shoes are absolutely beautiful. They're constructed amazingly. As I said, I personally think these are worth $1,300. However, I'm obviously not going to be spending $1,300 on a pair of shoes. Spending $700 on these, or even $800, is definitely a good price to pay for these. you can get them for cheaper as well. It's all about looking around, trying to get a nice price for them. Just make sure you do some research, make sure you know what exactly you're looking for, because there are fakes around. However, through Grailed, through Facebook groups, you're pretty much safe. On Facebook groups such as like Underground Society and stuff, they have a lot of people that sell a lot of these shoes. The sellers are legit, and if they are fakes, people will probably call them out. So just make sure like scour Underground Society, scour like Rick Owens Talk on Facebook, and look through Grail constantly, and eventually you will find a nice pair of Rick Owens Ramones for a whole lot cheaper than paying retail. Worst comes to worst, wait till these shoes go on sale and purchase them on sale, because you do not want to be paying the $1,300 retail. You don't want to be basically buying a pair of shoes and throwing away $500, because if you decide you don't like these shoes, you can't sell them for that $1,300 price point. You're going to have to sell them for like $700 or even cheaper. So honestly, you might as well just wait till these come up on sale, buy them for like $700, $600, $800. And worst comes to worst, if you don't like them, you can probably sell them for the exact same price as what you purchased them for. So just do that. Anyway guys, that was my Rick Owens Ramones review video. Make sure to subscribe, because I will be doing some more shoe reviews in the future. I've got some more pickups coming soon as well. I've got a whole bunch of other things coming soon, so make sure to subscribe. Follow my Instagram at aaronmonaghan. Check out my Grailed, because I will be selling some shoes, some clothes and stuff coming up soon, because I've got some stuff which I need to like fund for. I'm going to Melbourne soon, so I want some money to spend there. And I'm just doing some other stuff as well, so yeah, make sure to subscribe and follow my Instagram. Thanks so much for watching. I hopefully you did enjoy the review. And make sure to leave a comment down below letting me know if you wanted to see that video on how to style Rick Owens for a whole lot cheaper than buying a whole Rick Owens fit as well, because honestly, I think that would be a fun video to make, and I think you guys might enjoy it. But I just want to get some feedback before I go ahead and make that video. Anyway, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.